The reason we teach the children accessibility is about skills for life and about them developing independence and about them developing confidence in their own abilities to tackle their learning. We have the technology here in schools now, and I think as soon as you start using it with children, you could never go back. You could never have a dyslexic child in your class and not give them that, because you see the difference that it makes to them. Clicker is actually a really, really wide-ranging app, but one of the main reasons that we use it is because it can allow our children to create longer pieces of text with a lot more independence, because it has so many functions within it to be able to read it back to the children, to give them options for their spelling, to allow for self-correction. And these are things that generally we find our children who have any difficulty with literacy are real problems for them. As they go through, if it detects a spelling error, it will bring up 3, maybe 4 options underneath for what they may have meant. The children then, if they are quite confident that they can see the option they think is the correct one, they can just click on that and it will jump into the space where the original word was. It can be difficult for them to work out which is the correct spelling. So then if they use the spoken function as part of it, they tap on the blue megaphone icon.
On Saturday I was playing in a match. We got into the final. If we win the final, we have won the league.
And that lets them listen and think, yep, that was the one that I was looking for. And once they have found the one they were looking for, they can tap on it and it'll insert it into the sentence. With Clicker, they're able to think, all I need to worry a bit about is structuring my writing and producing the actual content. So automatically, if you've taken those barriers away, they're given more headspace and more room to be able to actually think about achieving the success criteria that are part of that piece. On the iPads, when you open an app like Pages or Keynote or something, it does bring up the keyboard on the screen, but that then obstructs what they can see on the screen. And it's something else on the screen for them to contend with in terms of visually and just processing of what is on the screen. So it made a huge amount more sense for them to have the separate keyboard.
Got those tapping feet on the ground? Then we're ready to rock and roll.
I'm smiling because the kids love Dance Mat. It's bright, it's colourful, it's noisy, and it's broken down in a way that's really accessible to them because it does things in little chunks. It talks them through things. It's very visual, so it suits all learners, but particularly our dyslexic learners.
Left pointing finger on the F, type an F. Hit on the H. Hit on the G. Ain't it easy as rock can be?
It's quite disjointed the way that they type sometimes. So we're trying to give them opportunities to learn proper touch typing. And the website Dance Mat is really, really good for that, in taking them through the home row keys, taking them through which finger is for each button, and it encourages them to develop almost muscle memory in their fingers with that, and then to build up speed and fluency afterwards. And having that speed and that confidence that they can do that, to take notes, to be able to record different things, again, is that sort of leveller. The children are very used to now going into their settings to use this. They know that if they want to change something within their iPad to be more applicable to their needs, that's where they go. So the spoken content feature allows you, when you are either on a web page or in a document or something that's got text on it, to tap and highlight a portion of text, and then some options will appear above it in a black box. One of them is speak. If you tap that, it will read out the selected text on there.
City scored 3 late goals in 5 minutes to beat Aston Villa 3-2.
A number of our dyslexic learners are extremely keen on science, love science. but possibly before, when their teacher would say to them, you know, right, go online and you can look up something about our space topic. A lot of the vocabulary that's involved in that is huge. And the minute they would pull up that web page and look at it, they would think, oh, I can't read that. And that's going to affect their confidence and their willingness to engage with their learning. Now, all they do is they pop their headphones in, they use their spoken content and they listen to it, and they then are learning from that. Teacher may be saying to them, you know, look at that document, and it might be a note-taking exercise, take some notes on it. So for our dyslexic learners who are trying to take in information, process that information, retain it, and then possibly regurgitate it again, possibly into their own words, that's already a huge amount of processing. When we teach the children to use the split screen, it allows them to have the document that they are possibly working on and the document that they are reading up. And the idea is that they could try and use everything in conjunction. So they may bring up a piece of text, say about space, which they are being asked to read and then maybe make some notes on. They can then, on the website that is about space, they could put that onto reader view. It makes it easier for them to read. They can then use their spoken content. And again, they are using all of these things to make engaging with and learning that information much easier for them.
Before using the iPad, school was like confusing because like there was a lot of words that I couldn't read, so then I didn't know how to like say them and pronounce them. Being like dyslexic, it means like your brain doesn't work the same as a lot of other people's, so then like, using the iPad helps out.
Before I used to use the iPad, it was frustrating, but when I got the iPad, I was really getting better and I was focusing more and I was like sticking in at work, and it makes you feel like happy. When you go home, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I've done a good thing at school today and I want to go back tomorrow and learn more.
They are having to work substantially harder than their peers to be at the same level because of dyslexia. So it's just being aware of the monumental effort that our dyslexic learners are generally putting into their day. And that can be because of difficulties with reading, because of difficulties with writing, just about being able to process instructions which are given in class. Learning should, yes, be challenging, but it shouldn't feel impossible to the children. I think sometimes it does. So it's about taking that away. For our dyslexic learners, this should be the norm because we have tools here to help them. I've quite often said to parents recently of children who've been identified as dyslexic, you know, if I could pick a time for you to be identified as dyslexic, this is it, because we have this technology here and it makes a huge difference. So don't worry, we're going to give you the skills to be able to do this for yourself.